Leclerc won his first Monaco Grand Prix with a light stuff flag victory on home soil after a huge crash saw the race stopped on the opening lap. Leclerc held off an earlier challenge from McLaren's Oscar Piastri to take his first win since July 22, and his Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz took third and Lando Norris fourth. Verstappen had to settle for sixth in between the Mercedes of George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, sees his championship lead reduced to 31 points. Ferrari's double podium means they're the only 24 points behind Red Bull in the constructors after 8 rounds. The race was red flagged on the first lap due to a big crash between the two Hasses and Checo Perez, with all 3 drivers unhurt despite the high-speed collision. Tsunoda scored a point for the third consecutive race with 8, ahead of Alex Albon, who gave Williams their first points of the season, and Alpine's Pierre Gasly in 10th. Leclerc had claimed twice pole in Monaco before, but hadn't finished on the podium due to previous misfortune or team mistakes. The 26-year-old knew he had another big chance when he took pole on Saturday, and with a stunning lap and got a good launch with the first start before the red flag was called due to the big accident between Perez and the Haas drivers. Sainz then got a big slice of luck because he suffered a puncture after making contact with Piastri and stopped at turn 4 on the first start before crawling back to the pit lane, but was restored to his starting place with third for the restart. Due to the race being suspended, everyone could change tyres to the regulation to use 2 different tyre compounds in the race. The Ferraris and McLaren switched from mediums to hards, while Russell, Verstappen and Hamilton went from hards to mediums. This time the restart was clean and the top 10 stayed in the same order, which remained the case for the rest of 78 laps around Monaco. Leclerc initially drove slowly to save his tyres and to keep the fight together to stop Piastri or Norris in 4th from trying an undercut. Piastri got very close during the opening 20 laps and had one small look at Portier, which was as close as he got to taking the lead. As the race went on, Piastri couldn't put much pressure on and Leclerc cruised to a 7.5 second win. Sainz faced pressure from Norris throughout the race, but managed to secure his 4th podium of the year. The race was stopped on the opening lap due after Kevin Magnussen made contact with Sergio Perez on the run up to the hill towards turn 2. Magnussen was halfway up alongside Perez when the pair collided, spun around and also collected Nico Hülkenberg in a high speed collision that saw debris scattered everywhere. From my point of view, I had a good part of my front on Perez's rear, and when he went to the wall I got pushed to the wall and made contact with him. I trusted it was going to leave space for me since I was there. It's not a corner where you're breaking into it, it's a bend where you have to straight or you have a car, otherwise you leave the other guy with no option. Later on in the lap, Esteban Ocon dived down the inside of Alpine teammates Gasly at turn 8, Portier, and also collided when they saw Ocon's car lift in the air. Both drivers were unable to carry on, with Gasly fuming at Ocon. What is he doing? Ocon had damage on his car and retired, but Gasly got his first point in 10th. Verstappen followed Russell for the majority of the race in 6th and never came under any pressure from Hamilton, who seemingly questioned his team's decision to start the race on hard tyres when he said "I told you so" on the radio during the red flag. Hamilton pitted with 27 laps to go for hards, so Red Bull reacted by pitting Verstappen a little later. Mercedes kept Russell out there, but Verstappen chased him down but couldn't find a way past. We just finished where we started because the strategy ruined the red flag. From that one, it was the restart, was driving 4 seconds off the pace, no work whatsoever, just really boring, the world champion said. Before I go, let me run you through the classification from the Monaco Grand Prix. Leclerc finally getting a win, so happy for Charles. He really deserves it. To finally get that win, and it's such a good drive as well. And potentially, don't say it too loudly, but title fight, you never know. And then you got Oscar Piastri in 2nd, really showing what he can do there and getting a big result. I think he'll be really pleased for that. But moving on into Carlos Sainz, I think disappointed maybe not to get 2nd, but I think probably maximised what he could do, so he'll be pleased with that. And then you've got Norris in 4th, probably once again be disappointed to get it be off his teammate, but on the whole pretty decent. And then you'd have to say Russell will be pleased with his day in 5th, maximising what he can do, beating Verstappen, who sounded very frustrated, and you can see why. Hamilton in 7th, I think we're just disappointed. It's qualifying pace taking him down again, that's something that he needs to correct. Tsunoda, Albon and Gasly to get those points will be really pleased. Alonso, good drive for him to make his way up, but frustrated to miss out on points, I think he will be. And then you got Ricciardo once again missing out on points, with Tsunoda bagging him, will be frustrating for them. You've got the Saubers well down on the grid, that'll be frustrating. Similar story for Stroll, and Sargent compared to Albon, just unfortunately nowhere. And then you got Ocon, things like that incident with Gasly could have severe repercussions. That'd be frustrating for Ocon, especially seeing Gasly score a point. And then, yeah, the two Haas cars in Paris at the beginning. To be honest, I think Magnussen could very well count himself lucky to avoid getting a race ban there with his Schumacher steaming out a racing incident. For me, that was on.
Okay, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme, and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.